I think they're not going to want to kill him. I think that's a bad look for a president.
For a president to kill somebody?
Yeah. Or to order it or something.
This
Like, hold on a
video-
second. They do that all the time. Presidents
This
kind
video's
of...
getting flagged
Yeah.
left and right. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Jay and Kyle Show. I am Jay Perry. This is my co-host Kyle Andrew. And Kyle, today I got an interesting topic for you. Something that kind of came to my head last week, and I noodled with it for a bit, and I thought I would ask you. So, do you think that Joe Biden and Barack Obama could beat Conor McGregor in a fight? I don't know why I thought of this, but for some reason it came to mind. And 2-on-1, obviously 1-on-1, there's no chance. 2-on-1, could they beat McGregor in a fight?
Okay, so sorry everyone, but this is going to be a long episode because I need to do some rewinding here. Caught a little off guard. Why were you thinking about this?
That is a great question.
Politics are tip of tongue. Let's be honest.
You know, it's got to be in my head about the politics, but why they would combat beats me.
Okay, forget
No
the
idea.
why. Forget the why.
Okay.
But I have to comment on someone who, as you know, watches a great deal of mixed martial arts fighting. I watch pretty much every pay-per-view from Bellator, UFC, everything. Straight up, Conor McGregor would tune both of them. But, like...
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. They're just too old, man. He would one-punch Joe Biden out cold right away because Joe Biden's, like, in his 70s. And Obama, the more physical of the two, man, he would just unleash bombs. There'd be no chance. But... then you got to figure out, well, if you're fighting those two, you're also fighting about 40 Secret Service agents. But let's change the variable. Let's put a variable in there to make this more realistic. Biden and Obama have to have assistance from something. Now, we're either going to tie McGregor's dominant hand behind his back, which would be his right, or we're going to allow them to have some sort of non-ballistic weapon, or not, like they can't hold machetes. I don't think they'd have much of a chance with machetes, to be honest with you. But they can't have guns or whatever too. But could they have, say, 2x4s? Or
okay, let me paint this scenario for you then.
Okay.
I most likely picked McGregor because my knowledge of the UFC is pretty minimal. Mm-hmm. I know like 4 fighters: McGregor, Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock, and I don't know who else. So that's
you
probably
just
why
named McGregor and 2 people Obama's age. Perfect.
Yeah. This is my knowledge of UFC fighting. So the verbiage, is that the word? The vocabulary that will be coming out of my mouth this episode will probably be pretty interesting. So if 2-on-1, McGregor can beat them both. I get it. That's right. But let's put a weapon in each of their hands. Now, not a gun, like you said. What if Biden is holding Donatello's staff and Obama? What
if we do it though? How about we do it like this? We're gonna take this fight out of the octagon and off of the streets, and let's do the fight in the Oval Office.
Right.
A place both of the current and ex-presidents are familiar with, and a place that at least visually Conor McGregor's certainly familiar with because it's on TV constantly. And the variable is either president can use anything they find in the room in the fight, but he can't use anything. No other people, no ballistic weapons.
That would lead me to think that... Now, okay, let me ask you this. Did the fight just happen, or was the fight prearranged months ahead of time?
Well, if there's no one else in the room, it would be prearranged. So, you know what might be more fun is let's try and think of a scenario in which Joe Biden, Obama, and Conor McGregor end up in the Oval Office alone. Like, why is that happening? They just having a couple of glasses of proper 12 whiskey, just shooting the shit, having a good old time. So you're telling me about the fucking politics,
The reason I bring that up is because I think that Biden and Obama might have a home court advantage, and they'll know all the little intricate secret passages that are
Right.
in the Oval Office that us commoners aren't aware of.
Right.
So they could stash, ninja stars, ninja dust, ninja something in these little compartments that like Lincoln built back in the day, where when he's laying on the ground next to a desk, he just goes, pulls out a ninja star. Next thing you know, McGregor's got a star right in his forehead. So I think the home court advantage plays well to the presidents.
I think they need it too. Like, let's be honest, that guy's
Yeah.
a trained, world-class, all-time great fighter. Like,
Right. But before we go any further, if they're a tag team, what name are we giving their tag team?
wow.
I mean, we can't go with the presidents. That's just too obvious.
No, that's too obvious. Man.
I wish I knew more about them to come up with something. I know much about politics as I do about UFC fighting. So that's where I lay. Now, are they wearing headbands? I
Well-
can see Obama with a nice, maybe velour wrestling suit.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna want to keep. The thing is, too, you don't want too much baggy clothes on, because if McGregor knows any judo, he'll use that to throw them around. Man, it's tricky. The sticking point for me here is if Biden was Obama's age. It's just I think Biden's the oldest president ever, or tied, or he's way up there. He's in his late 70s.
Right.
Even with all the stuff, the advantages presidents and world leaders have from a health perspective, his best days are behind him. Now, Obama, we know, plays basketball. I think he rows, he runs, swims. Like,
Yeah.
he's athletic shape, and I think he's in his late 50s or 60. I don't know either.
Are you familiar with old man strength?
Yeah, but there's a threshold where that, like, there's old man strength, there's dad strength, which is peak of it, and then there's
Yeah.
old. Listen, Biden has to be a fairly tough guy by some measure. I don't know if you know much about the guy's life. It's been not easy at all.
Right. So his mental toughness is peak level even at this age.
Absolutely.
We're talking strength. So him with a weapon, he needs that weapon.
And Connor's best days, arguably, are behind him. Mind you, his last fight, pretty good comeback fight. Not sure what's going to happen in his next fight, which is real soon, based on when this is airing, this Saturday, actually.
So
I'm so hesitant to say that because we're taping that, but like so many fights get canceled now because of COVID and stuff like that. In theory, he's fighting this Saturday.
now, couldn't they just kind of go at one end of the rooms or the Oval Office, McGregor in the middle? Once one jumps on his back, the other one kind of comes in with a little leg sweep, and McGregor goes down, and then they start elbowing him in the sternum.
I watched this video the other day on an Instagram account. I think it was called Nature is Metal. I don't know if that... I follow a couple of Instagram accounts with like really hardcore videos of like savage... like animals attacking animals. Like nature being nature pretty much, right? The food chain and whatnot. And it was this pack of lions attacking a giraffe. And one of the female lions was on the giraffe's back and hump. Like... clawed in on its back. Like a giraffe this was a big animal. And the lion is biting into the giraffe's back, and the other lions, there had to have been 5 or 6 of them around. Please remind me to send this to you, by the way. The other lions were all picking at the giraffe too, and the giraffe was just kind of standing there. Apparently this went on for 2 hours. The giraffe survives, and the lions went away because they became exhausted.
Wow.
So it's like...
you're saying they implement the giraffe technique on McGregor?
No, because it doesn't work is what I'm saying. I think what would happen in the fight is if McGregor is smart, he would instantly charge at Biden and try and hit him first. Because he's the weak link and he makes it a one-on-one. Like, I think no matter who stands where, if McGregor's in the center of the Oval Office, Biden's over here, Obama's over here, he turns, sprints right at Biden and jumps on him and knocks him out cold. That's the play, because then you make it a one-on-one instantly. I think that's what he tried to do. So you would need Obama to... I think Obama would find himself in the role of preventing that from happening. Man.
This goes back to the famous question: could any middle-aged man take on 30 grade 1 kids?
Oh, that's exactly it. Depends on the middle-aged man. I keep going back to Ken Shamrock in my head. I have a Ken Shamrock story, by the way, when I met him. But, okay, so I think the key to this fight would be McGregor's cornerman is 1,000% going with my theory. Try and one-punch Biden. Okay. First of all, can we just put this disclaimer in? Don't one-punch presidents. Anyways,
thank you.
You know how the internet is now. I don't want a bunch of commenters saying, you're threatening violence against the president. It's like, no, we're trying to figure out a way in which they can defeat Conor McGregor. We're all for it. And I don't even vote in America. And I have no party declaration. I just want to know what would happen. Okay, I think the key to this whole thing would be to have Joe Biden avoid that one-punch attempt. If he can get inside the punch, hold McGregor just long enough for Obama to get to the tussle to make it a 2-on-1, then we got to fight.
Okay, let's say that happens. He throws out his staff as he's getting charged at, and he's able to kind of like weed him off a little bit, where Obama, he's probably got some hops left. He's doing a sprint in the Oval Office, and they connect. So now it's a 2-on-1 close quarters. Who takes it? Well, do we feel like Obama knows moves? Like the cross-faced chicken wing, that's a thing, right? Is he putting him in a headlock? Or a sleeper hold?
Listen, the honest to God truth is it doesn't matter what either of them know. McGregor will know more and know how to get out. Like, he's been trained his whole life for this, and he has incredible one-punch power. So I don't... Yeah, I mean...
Is what would happen, is this what was on our elevator episode? That female in the elevator who just dominated 2 dudes?
Man, like, So McGregor's going to charge at Biden. I don't think Biden should try and fight him off. I think Biden should try and run to the phone. The phone's going to be heavy in there because they're not using it cheap. Ooh. They're using a proper landline, sealed T1 connection, heavy metal phone, which the best thing you can do is to distract McGregor enough. Like, if you throw a metal phone at anyone, they have to dodge and duck it. You can't, like, no one's just going to, like, take a metal phone in the chest. Like, he could because he's kind of nuts. But I don't think it's advisable, if that makes sense. So, I feel like if they can get to a heavy object to throw at him to disorient him and the other guy can jump on him, if you've got 2 guys on top of you, you're in trouble no matter who those guys are, because I guarantee you both Obama and Biden are heavier than McGregor. McGregor's fighting at, like, whatever his fighting weight is, it doesn't matter. He's probably going to be 160 pounds during this altercation, and Biden's certainly heavier than that. Obama, just based on age alone, is probably 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier. They get on top of him, and if you could put the weight of 2 men with that staff across the throat of McGregor, think about Obama, who's got a stronger grip, holding those things. McGregor's trying, like pushing something off your neck is hard because you don't have the best leverage unless you can get your arms out, which, he does. But then if Biden's on Obama's back, hugging him, well, first of all, that's the best visual I can imagine. And I'll spend as much time as possible photoshopping that if it's even slightly likely. But like, so the thing is about cutting someone's oxygen supply of too, it fatigues the rest of their body in the process because you're not getting oxygen to the blood and stuff. True. So it's a good, I see a scenario in which this fight can go 25, 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know, maybe both Obama and Biden would die in that time. That's a long time to be fighting, man, without a break.
I do like the idea of pinning him down. I think that's the strategy. I think if that happens, there's a good chance they win.
They just have to avoid that initial one punch, man. That's what this is all about to me.
Are they winning by submission? Are they winning? Like, do we think that Obama knows an arm lock bend thing? Or are they just going for the kill?
I think, they're going to maintain their... I think they're not going to want to kill him. I think that's a bad look for a president.
For a president to kill somebody?
Yeah. or to order it or something.
This-
Like,
this
hold on a
video-
second. They do that all the time. President's
This
kind of
video's getting flagged
Yeah.
left and right.
yeah, right. No, YouTube's never going to see this. Listen, we're just kidding. No, but like,
Hypothetical.
I think they would want to just, they're men of honor. They want to. UFC fighters. One of the great thing about fight sports like that is how they hug and can embrace each other afterwards. And I think that would be the case here. I think they would look for a submission. I don't know if Biden certainly wouldn't have the strength to lock up McGregor and submit him. I doubt they know any arm bars of any sort or ankle locks. I think that, man, you'd have to get Obama maybe choking him out. But the chokeout's only going to happen if he's already really fatigued.
Okay. Now, have we said what weapon Obama starts with?
We did not. We've only talked about. Well, the other thing you were talking about all these different compartments and grabbing all these ninja dust and things like that.
Yeah.
What if he opened another one and Ninja from Twitch was in there?
Who's that?
Who is Ninja Twitch? Oh, what does that even mean?
Isn't Ninja like a popular streamer guy?
Sorry, yeah. I do know.
What
that.
if he was in there? Would that change things at all? I doubt it. Like,
Yeah,
you just had all these other ninja accessories. Why not?
Yeah. Well, I got it. He opens up a cabinet and there's a ninja blender in there, and that is Obama's weapon.
Wow.
The blender. First off, it's filled with ninja dust in the ninja blender. So he grabs that right in McGregor's eyes. McGregor's blinded. I got this. McGregor's blinded. This is how confident Obama is. Instead of grabbing the ninja blender and smashing it on Connor's head, he knows he's got some time before he can do that. Cooks up a little cocktail in the blender,
Wow.
puts it on high, pours Biden a drink. They cheers down the hatch, then smashes it on
Are
Connor's
these
head.
guys so confident that they're actually making pina coladas before they fight this guy?
With straws in it while they fight.
With Conor McGregor's own whiskey. I don't know if you can make a pina colada with whiskey, but they're pouring it in anyways just to taunt him.
Yes, and then he hits him. He's down, and they put a foot on his chest, and they just...
Oh my God. Then they would also have a bottle of proper 12 whiskey to use as a weapon. A full 40 ounce or 26 ounce liquor
Is that
bottle is
McGregor's stuff?
Yeah, it's his stuff.
that-
Proper 12 whiskey.
Cool.
A full bottle of that's a hell of a weapon, man.
Yeah. So after thinking of that, I'm gonna go with Biden and Obama as my answer. I think that they will beat McGregor in a 2-on-1 fight in the Oval Office.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stay with Conor McGregor, and I think the fight lasts 15 seconds. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I enjoyed theorizing all of this with you, but I think that fight lasts 15 seconds, McGregor.
One of us is right. Now, how much money do you think it would take McGregor to take that fight?
He does that for free. That's the best publicity ever. Especially if proper 12 whiskey's involved. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
okay, so I watched all the NFL playoff games this past weekend, and the weekend is the halftime performing artist, the big name this year at the Super Bowl. And so him and Pepsi have teamed up, and their commercials are just nonstop. The Weeknd and Pepsi going to the Super Bowl, and it's that one song of his, whatever. I don't remember what the song's called. That song is so stuck in my head right now, and I'm thinking, whatever he gets paid to do the Super Bowl pales in comparison to the amount of exposure and free advertising he's getting because of doing it. That's got to be why people do things like that. I think the same theory applies here.
Yeah. He definitely takes the fight for free,
For sure. I don't think he needs a payday at all.
I think. Now, the one thing we haven't come up with, and maybe we leave it to the viewers,
Okay.
on their tag team name.
Yes.
What is the tag team name of Joe Biden and Barack Obama?
What would they call themselves? That's a great question. That is a really, really great question.
It's almost like another show where we just come up with that.
Well, maybe we could do some like social media content, reading out like the best responses from people and stuff like that. Or like we could try and Photoshop some logos or some dumb thing. Because like I we don't like, again, we don't pre-discuss these conversations, and like I certainly wasn't prepared to name their tag team.
Okay.
Well, I was more concerned about the algorithm taking this down because of what we're discussing. So you'll never see this. Thank you for watching.
On that note, I think Obama and Biden not only beat McGregor, but again, pour that cocktail and drink on his body. You think it lasts 15 seconds and McGregor punches him out?
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree. One thing before I forget is I always find it fascinating. You say McGregor's 160 pounds. Can you imagine me and McGregor in a fight? That wouldn't even last 15 seconds. Like,
no,
but
not likely.
I'm heavier than that guy. That always kind of boggles my mind where you never know what's under that clothing, what they know. These guys are like 140 pounds
right,
who would destroy me.
I don't know much about, like all fighters typically, well, not the super heavyweights or the heavyweight guys, but even some of them, but fighters typically drop a lot of weight right before the fight, make weight on the Friday, and then gain back 10, 12, 15 pounds by the time they fight 24 hours later. It's a relatively simple science, if not kind of dangerous. I don't know what McGregor's walking around weight is. He's bounced between weight divisions. I might be wrong. He might be walking around at 180, but that's really splitting hairs to me in terms of, I don't care if he's 110 pounds with what he knows about fighting. Those guys are in for trouble.
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, so we've got our answers. This has been great. Kyle, your turn.
Okay, the usual. We really appreciate it when you guys click and subscribe and like these, leave comments, turn on the notifications, all that stuff. It helps us. However many of you made it this far, we appreciate you the most. But yeah, forget all the subscribe stuff. We actually want to hear your suggestions for the tag team name for Biden and Obama. That's
100%.
That's kind of interesting to us.
Yep. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Ron, we'll see you soon. And on to the next episode.
Ciao. That got so ridiculous. I love it. They needed to go to like a ridiculous territory.